streaming on Netflix. So on top of everything else, you got 3 NAACP awards for Charlie Telfi. This character was such a fascinating person.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, the Average Joe turn was tremendous.
Thank you
tremendous.
so much. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
I think it was the New York Post that you said of acting, I want to really take it seriously, study, get it together, and really give the best that I can do and see what happens.
Yeah.
What was the interest in the more serious turn?
Man, I'm like this. Like, if you're a barber, like, why would you cut black hair only? If you're a black barber, why would you cut black hair? Yeah. If you're a barber, be a barber, right?
Right.
Like, just...
Yeah, I get it.
You're leaving money on the table just doing black hair. Like, if you're gonna be a barber, cut hair. And so I felt I had that same philosophy when it comes to, like, acting. It's like, if I'm gonna act, why just do, like, comedy? Like, do your research, learn what you need to learn.
Are you in classes? Do you take acting classes?
No, I used to be at this thing called Forgotten City that was in Chicago on top of Second City. And we used to do, like, a lot of acting stuff. We would write our own skits and perform it or whatever. And so, yeah, I just went, never had, like, a class or nothing like that.
Which is fascinating, because you do know that there are people, like, literally spend all their money on classes.
Yeah.
They spend all their time. And somebody like you walks in a natural.
Yeah, when you're on stage sometimes, it's certain cadences that you have to have on stage and certain looks and appeals.
Well, like the Harder They Fall.
So.
I mean, you had to, that was intense.
No,
that was intense. Harder They Fall.
That was intense, No, that was my, shout out to my man, James Samuel, like the director and writer and creator. He just know how to bring that out of you, man. He came to me and just sat me down and just said the right thing that had me, like, really go there and, like, mentally black out, you know, so, yeah.
You have a conspiracy thriller called The Madness. That's coming up, Netflix, November 28th.
Yeah.
You're opposite Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Are you at a point, Deon, are you at a point now where you're comfortable turning down roles? Because I imagine when they're all coming in, especially if they're high profile, you're like, I'm taking that one, I can put this on my calendar. But now with this string of wins, are you comfortable saying no?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. It just has to be right, you know, with everything, you know.
What's your criteria for right? What makes something right?
I mean, it just has to be something that a, 50-plus age man can do, and that makes sense, you know. That makes sense, and that.
I mean, there are a lot of 50-plus men who are like action heroes, flipping and jumping,
and we're Average Joe. We do
you
that.
do a lot of,
we do a lot of action.
You do. Is that you or is that a stunt person?
It's half me and half him. Like anything where you get punched in the face, I go, you come here. You do this part.
Did the physical training, did you have to work out more?
Absolutely, yeah, we worked out a lot. You know, everything, each project that I do, you have to work out and you have to go with trainers and learn different techniques and all of that.
What was the biggest learning curve for this, Average Joe?
Average Joe, patience, like for real. Like we was shooting sometimes like 17 hours a day we was shooting. One day we shot 24 hours and it was crazy. So it was just the patience that we had to have in order to get through this. And we would shoot at night and we would be, every day, we were killing people and lying and deceiving each other and then go home and be deflated like, oh, that murder.
How do you decompress off camera?
It's so weird. When I do stand-up, how I decompress is watching Forensic Files.
Okay, pause. When we come back, how Deon decompresses with Forensic Files and his Sold Out Arena tour with Martin Lawrence. We'll be right back.
And like your son, I too spent my whole life trying to make my father proud, knowing his love for it never happened. Not because I didn't do anything or couldn't do anything. That wasn't it at all. It's because of something he wouldn't allow himself to do when it came to me. He would not allow me in this world being unprepared. He wouldn't do it. He knew how hard it was in this world, so he didn't want me to be a victim.
Welcome back. We are with three-time NAACP winner and clearly Al, Deon Cole. Now, okay, Mr. Streaming Now. Clearly, a great portion of my audience thinks of you as a sex symbol. Do you?
I've never heard that before.
Of course you've heard it.
I've never heard that
Of course
before.
you've heard you're a sex symbol.
First time hearing it.
And I normally don't ask that because my dear friend Method Man was on here, and he talked.
Oh, yeah.
And he talked about, like, he appreciates it, but it's a little uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. I've never been called that before.
You've never been called a sex symbol, Deon.
Nobody's ever said that before, so right now.
You got it now. Okay. So you got it now.
I appreciate it, though.
I only say what the people tell me to say, and that's what the people say.
Well, I thank you so much. I appreciate it. I accept it. Yeah.
You're on the road with Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, what a dream. So you and Martin on road.
Yeah.
Sold out arena tour.
Yeah.
He is on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is that like for you?
Icon, man. When we go do these shows, man, people love Martin to pieces, man, and it's just my job to like come before him and set him up. I don't even make it about me, you know what I mean? Like a lot of comics might try to go out there and rip it to shreds, and I'm like, nah, this is about Martin. Yeah. And we're going to make it about Martin. We're going to go and show him love. Yeah. We're going to set it up for him to go out there and kill. And that's what he's been doing every night. I
asked you about spare time. You said forensic file shows, which we'll do that in therapy. But right now, you DJ. And during the quarantine, you were DJing. You love house music. You love disco.
Yeah.
That brought out another side of you as well. How often are you still DJing places?
Yeah, I still play. Like after my shows, a lot of times I find a spot in whatever city and play and DJ and play good music.
What does that bring to you?
Good grown music.
Good grown music. What does that do for you to DJ?
Man, it's just therapeutic. It's just something, another outlet to express myself. And you know, being from Chicago, I grew up on house music. Grew up on house music and disco music, you know. They got rid of disco music back in the 70s.
Because you were trying to bring back, I mean, I lived in Chicago. We ran into each other at some auditions.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a dark history with disco because at the White Sox game, this infamous moment, I vividly remember the attempt to kill disco. And you have been a part of the movement, which I'm happy exists, of bringing back disco.
Yeah. They tried to they got rid of disco back in the 70s. In the 70s. And they had a big old bonfire where they was like
rolled over it with one of those construction vehicles. They crushed all of this. And at the time, steamroller. It was controversial because they said it was too gay and too black.
They said it's too gay, too black, too Hispanic, and they was like, and they took it off the air, replaced it with rock and metal. And the only way that you can listen to this music was underground places. Yeah. And people still loved it, and so they went, and even the artists that made it, they fell off. Like, they couldn't make no music.
So the rebirth of disco.
We keep it alive.
Yes, I love it.
We keep it alive.
One more thing you're keeping alive. So every year we do an epic Halloween around here. I am requesting early that you repeat one of my favorite Halloween costumes of all time.
Yeah.
Deon as Shona from The Last Dragon. That was on Black History. Do you know? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't unsee it. When they say you can't unsee something, I couldn't unsee it.
Man, everywhere I go, somebody going, Shona!
Even Kid Cudi said you won Halloween for life.
Yeah.
You won it for life. Look at it.
Yeah, Kid Cudi, yeah.
Did you know there was a resemblance?
I mean, I didn't until I did it. When I did it, I was like, I'm sorry.
That's it. Thank you, Deon Cole. Get this